All right. So anyway, so I met you 2016-ish, whatever, and you were so sweet to me at that event. And that's it. Like we just kind of like ships. We just saw each other. You added me to some Facebook group for like the Joe Dispenza stuff. I remember thinking you're very kind and thoughtful. But that was it. So we were friends on Facebook, and I just kind of kept, looking at you, but not like in passing, right? Like it wasn't anything, serious. I was a single mom when I met you, 2016. I've been a single mom for 9 years. And then COVID, my now husband and I, we decided to have a baby, blended the family. So I have a 3-year-old now, and also have a bonus daughter. She's 8. So I have a 14-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 3-year-old.
Can you tell everybody what you
And
do too, by the way?
oh yeah, so I do. I'm sorry, I
I
do.
forgot to tell
Yeah,
you
tell
to
me,
do that, Heidi.
tell me
But yeah,
what to
yeah.
do. Tell me what to do. I run. I'm in B2B space, so I'm not really the online person. I'm kind of trying to get into that space now, but I have a sales hiring firm, and we work mostly with companies that are over 1 million, and we help them find salespeople. And so that was my business that I've done for 11 years. However, there's some changes going on, so I don't know if you want me to talk about how much you want
Well,
me to tell
she's
about
she's
that.
pivoting. She's pivoting now. You can just say that, and then we're actually packaging up what she's been able to create and
Right.
reselling it in a $25,000 program or higher.
Yeah.
So
So I stepped into your world about 2.5 months ago, but it was not before. So let me back up. It was my birthday in October. I'm a Scorpio, and I do a birthday week where I celebrate myself and do whatever fun things every day. And I remember your post triggered the crap out of me, and you said something about unapologetically rich, and I was like, oh, what? I remember I felt so triggered, and that's when I know I have to go look. Like, what if something triggers me? I have to go and like figure out like what triggers me about it, because I was kind of jealous. I was like, I want to be unapologetically rich. I'm sick and tired of. I forgot who I was. Blended family, a little kid. Like, there's so many all these things coming in. So I forgot who Olga was, and I feel like hearing that message about being apologetically rich. Like now I'm gonna cry. I was like, I want that too, deep down, right? So I started watching. I got on your master, I don't know what it
class, the master class.
was,
Yeah, yeah.
master class, and I loved everything you were saying. It was like resonating, but I was still having like that skeptical, like, "Ugh, I've tried all kinds of things. I've done this, I've done that. It didn't work. But I still kept listening. I remember the podcast. Then I got the book whenever the book came out. So it took me about a month to figure out my money, um, because my business was not making money at all. And that's when I knew I needed something. I needed to change, right? Like what you talk about. I needed to take a bet on myself. And I think you and I had a call. I don't remember the details, like how exactly that worked out, but I remember it was Thanksgiving. I only had one client that pays me every month. That was, and that was exactly the amount that I would pay you every month. So basically, I would pay you the money and then I'd have nothing. Or like that was my thing. And then remember, Olga, if you don't do this right now, you're going to keep repeating the same shit. It's just going to be the same thing. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I remember thinking, but it's Thanksgiving, then it's the holidays, then, we'll just do it later in January. And something inside of me was like, no, no, let's do this. We're going to commit. It's scary AF, but we're going to do this. So I signed up. That was before Thanksgiving, when no one does anything, corporate America, or so they say. And that December, so I came in your world, and I brought my journals to show the work. So this is my journals that I've done since I've joined in what 2.5 months. That's a lot of writing, okay?
A lot of
And
writing.
so that's my emotional intelligence. So when Shamina says about accessing the quantum field program, everybody has to do it. Like she's not joking. So I started doing that, and all the hell broke loose, you guys. Like I was not prepared for that because I started journaling about the triggers, and I know Elsa likes to talk about triggers, how much she loves that module. But that triggers module, it cracked me open. So I realized where my shortage mentality was coming from, how I have allowed myself to get dragged into some drama that it's none of my business. And as I started shedding things, my bank account started to grow. And so January, yesterday, my husband and I celebrated our date night. I had $15,750 in cash, okay? I'm not counting like the clients that came in January that will be paying in February and March. That's, to me, that's not cash yet. That's sales on the books, whatever. But that's just in my bank account, all right? So I went from having nothing, paying Shamina what my client paid me, basically, to now I'm like, holy shit. But that's not the most important thing. The most important thing, as I started journaling, I started realizing the way I do my business, and I'm in recruiting, which is you get paid after you deliver something to the client. And there's just so many problems to that business. I'm not going to even go on that. But as I started journaling, I realized I don't want to work for free anymore, right? So, and that's what it was. It's working to me. That was for free. And another thing that Shamina says, I like how when I came on, you talked about you don't have an offer until you sold it. Like, I'm like, okay, so I want to change my business, but how would I do that as I am trying to pay my bills? And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit down and think, what do I want this business to look like to really to keep putting offers out? Because I didn't want to put offers out because I didn't want it for free. Does it make sense? So it's like yeah, I can go and like find 100 clients and work for free until I find them the person. And I was like, that's not how I want to do anymore. I want to teach my system what I'm doing, and then they, learn how to do this, and then I will get paid as I'm helping them. And I put the offer out literally to the client. 30 minutes later, he said, let's go. And I look at my husband, I'm like, is this easy? That's it? Like, that's all I had to do? But it was not until I uncovered all that other shit.
Because I had to
the
make you do that
drama.
shit first, or
Right.
else you able to get it.
And the shortage mentality, especially when it comes to some women in my life, the ones that I did not really choose to be around. But once I kind of separated myself from the drama and the triggers, it's almost like I remember who I was.
Oh.
And from there, it's so much easier to make decisions. I started a community of women about six years ago. I'm getting back into that and growing that business. I'm growing this business that I am, and I'm just like feeling in love with life. Like Heidi said, like I love waking up in the morning. I'm not like dreading I have to go do some shitty things today or whatever, and just live in this weird swamp that I didn't even know I lived. Like I knew something was wrong. Anyway, I know I like probably talked all over the place, but
No, this is so powerful because she's showing you the journals. She didn't just come in here and expect this result. She went and did the work, and she showed up on every single call. Olga always, like when I say create questions, Olga had 1, 2, 3 questions every time, which I love because it shows me that she was doing the work. She was like, she was not going to lose because she knew she had the tools in front of her. I gave it to her. She saw that it worked for other people. She's like, it's going to work for me, and she just doesn't quit. And we're just getting started. This has just been a couple months with me. And now she's made 16,700. She's almost at 20,000. Do you see how quickly this works? But you've got to do the work first.
and most importantly, I feel I see the predictable way of making money, because that to me is everything. The way my business was, it wasn't predictable at all. But now, because I was
Like
afraid
this.
to say, this is how I work. If you don't want it, go away.
Exactly.
And that's what I started doing. And that's just the beginning. So yeah. So but to me, I didn't like journaling before. I'll be honest with you. Like I'm not a journaler. I don't do a diary. I don't do this. But Shamina's program of like how she teaches us how to journal, it's my best friend now.
Me too.
Like I literally bring it to my office, because like I'm like, whenever something going on, I'll write it down and really have a conversation with me about the structure that they kind of follow.
I like structure and I like to have solutions. I'm a problem solver at the end of the day, but I also know that we can't just solve an emotional problem with a mindset thing. It has to be, you can't use something
It has to be
logical
from here. Yeah.
here. Yeah.
And here sometimes comes it's under so many layers of drama and shortage mindset, and I didn't even think I had shortage mindset, but yes, I did. So and then another thing I wanted to say, while I was thinking it over for a month, which I don't recommend, if you're here, she doesn't pay me anything to say this. If you're here, just like do it. Don't do what I did for a month of driving myself crazy. But I did buy the Avatar program. I did buy some other things. I listened to a podcast. I really kind of, I don't know, got my brain soaking with this primer. So like she has so much information for all kinds of stages. But if you're ready to make money, I want to make $1 million by my 40th birthday, which is in October. So, and just on this call, you gave an idea. Envision, what am I putting once I get my million? Kind of like Leo
Hell yeah,
Cartier.
baby.
I'm like, I'm gonna start visualizing what am I putting on my 40th birthday for accomplishing this goal. You
And
give me that idea.
I'll give you the name. Wait, are you in Chicago?
No, I actually want to go to Tiffany's. I'm a Tiffany's girl. I want to go
Okay.
see what the Tiffany's offering and try that on.
Go to there and ask, get friendly with the sales rep and just go in there and talk to them, try on all the stuff, take some pictures, put it on your hand, and then just literally be, and I never did that beforehand, but since that's a goal, like just go feel it. Once you feel
Yep.
it, it'll happen so fast, Olga, because that desire, because now that you're in this driver's seat right now, you know how to use this energy. It's going to happen like this for you. That's how
Yeah.
the money came in to pay for everything, is because I let the desires lead. You're going to learn how to do that in the programs. I'm going to teach you how to utilize desires to create the results that you want. And
Because
that's
it's
the
not about the money. Yeah,
no.
I know. I did not want to hear that back then back in October. I was like, of course it's about the money. And now I'm like, oh, it's not. Okay. Got it.
So if
Got
you
it.
so last words to everybody else, because we have like four other girls I want to make sure that we get to, but what would you say? Olga's a badass. If you have not noticed, she's like it, and she's the most supportive. She just celebrated in the group how much money she made, and it's still something that we're working on. Like, by the way, I'm making a post about you today, just letting you know. So just go. You're gonna have to go put the stuff inside my
Yeah.
inbox. Give
No,
you
it's
information. We already knew you were
I'm
coming. I'll keep your last
yeah.
name off, but it's something where like when you get celebrated, whatever you celebrate, more of it comes, and you get to get celebrated. You know, your old story of things. I mean, making $20,000 a month is so amazing. I mean, like that's going to turn into 50 to 75 to 100, or can go right from 20 to 100. You don't know how fast you can jump. I went from 15 to 50 to 75 to 150. That's how fast I jumped. So you don't have to go in increments. You don't have to do October is 10. You know, that's the
Right.
success
No.
limit mindset that you created. And I'm telling her to tell you there's no limits. So what's possible?
No, I that's very true. Yeah, it's hard for me. I love celebrating others, but it's hard for me to be celebrated. So
You're working on it.
and this I'm working on it, and this group is teaching me to like I'm pushing myself, screenshotting my money coming and like and every
Yes.
time I'm like running away because
I
I don't
love
want to like
it.
get all the love. But yeah, women are so supportive in this group, like truly, truly, truly supportive and caring.
And do you
Yeah.
notice all of them are having an emotional response? And these are women that never used to before, but they know that emotions is how we create, but they're so in touch with their feminine now that it's such a different way of operating your life and business. It's just different. And it's just a different energy that you become in. So I'm so proud of you for the work you've done, because you just show up and you make it easy for me to help you because you're doing the things that I'm telling you to do. And it's just amazing. I
And my
love
husband loves you. I know I said this before, but he's like, well, now that Shamina is telling you, I've been telling you this for years, but now she's telling you, you're listening. So my husband loves that you are pushing me to what he said that he's been saying for a while. So it's great
Well,
to,
sometimes we got to hear it from someone else, right?
exactly. Anyway, thanks
Any,
for having
yes.
me.
Any last things you want to tell them? You said she told you to move. You heard what she said. What was anything else? If they're on the
Um,
fence or they're worried, what you said, you heard what she said. She waited a month and she wished she didn't. So
because I think I waited for a month because again, like I doubted myself, right? And you talk about this sometimes, like I was like, oh my God, that's to me that was so much money. It's the most I've ever spent on myself, right? I came here with from Russia with $100. Like it's to me, I was like, oh my God, it's a crazy amount. But now that I've done this, I'm like, whoa, what a bet on commitment to my dreams and desires. Like I can talk about it, but I am the woman who's walking it now. So, and that to me is everything.
exactly. And now she's getting clients who are paying her because she made the investment too.
Exactly.
And so
Yep.
now she's not a fraud anymore because she's like, she can charge, a high ticket, 25,000, 30,000 because she's made that investment. So anyway, Thank you so
Yep.
much, love. I
Thank you.
love you.
Thank
I
you
love
for,
you.
yeah, thanks for all you do. I appreciate it.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. She always has amazing fashion. When you see her, when you join our group, you'll see her on the calls. She's always decked out. Like her and
Oh,
Heidi always got the glam on, and Brittany. I mean, they all do. All these women are just like they're next level. They're next level. They dress like wealthy women every day. So I love it. Okay, thanks, babe. Okay.